Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about 7 habits to get lean. The 7 habits that I learned during my 10-year body transformation journey. And that's what we're talking about in today's video. Now before we get started, the point of this video is actually not to flex. I'm all about inspiring others and sharing what I know. Rather than going, hey, I'm ripped, buy my program, guaranteed overnight transformation, sorry, no refunds. Anyways, I've actually benefited a lot during my fitness journey, especially from those like Steve Cook and Rob Richards sharing their knowledge, inspiring me to help build my dream physique and never give up. And every now and then I'll get random comments from friends and colleagues like, whoa, your arms are so veiny, calling me lean or shredded. And I've always wished that I could help. Because chances are, if you apply the same mentality that I have with food and exercise, you'll most likely be just as lean, if not more. But there always seems to be the same type of comments on my shorts videos every time I post a video about my 15-minute daily workout, which of course I highly believe in. So if you say it's a scam, I might cry. Anyways, in the comments section, there always seems to be one guy or another saying, hey, if you put time in the gym, you'll actually get bigger. And I think that most guys actually have it wrong because they tend to think most YouTubers who are jacked up are the norm. The problem is that most guys don't have balance in their lives. Yet you're gonna see YouTubers screaming, hey, buy this program, do this 60-minute, 90-minute workout 6 days a week. Yet 99% of us work a 40-hour job, have kids, have a partner. The only difference is that they work out for a living and we don't. So here I am with the goal of helping you find balance in your life so that you can become strong, lean, and healthy, ideally for life. With that in mind, let's get into the 7 habits. In no particular order, habit number 1. Set a timer. Whether it be 30 or 60 minutes, not many people have the willpower to stop eating before it's too late. It's natural as humans to want more. Even when I'm full, I still want to keep eating. Unless I'm absolutely stuffed and I feel like it's gonna come out the way that it went in, then of course I'll stop. But if I can keep eating and I know that I'll get extremely uncomfortable and I'll regret my actions, then I'll put a timer on for 30 or 60 minutes. So the time depends on how full I am after a meal, given that I want to keep snacking. If I've had a well-rounded, satiating meal and I feel satisfied, then I'll just go and edit some videos and watch Netflix and chill. And obviously if I'm less full and I keep wanting to snack, then I'll set a 30-minute timer, as opposed to a 60-minute timer and I'm more full and I still want to snack. And for someone like me, I tend to judge others who snack, although I know how addictive it can be. And I think that's the case because I grew up eating proper meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then when I see other people eating, like most would call eating like kids, like a lunchbox with a divider with, you know, crackers, crisps, cheese sticks, then I can't help but judge. The point is, where's the nutrition? It's no wonder why most people have low energy and rely on several coffees a day. I guess then it comes down to education, habits, who you hang out with, how you grew up, and that's why I'm making this video. Oh, and don't forget to use technology to your advantage. Set a timer. Habit number 2, takeaway. With most people, we tend to think we have to finish all our food in one sitting. Like when we go out to eat with our friend or our partners, we tend to order one meal each. And bam, the meal comes out 10 times bigger than we expected. And of course, everyone is used to eating different amounts, but when we order food, the restaurant of course sets a standard and we think this is one meal. When in fact, it could feed your entire family for a month. And then we try so hard to finish. But then when it comes to dessert, our greediness kicks in and we tend to order one each. And I've noticed this in a lot of couples. They tend to order one of each for each person. One drink, one meal, one dessert, one side. In my opinion, based on how me and my partner eat, that's unnecessary. And most of the time, people don't even finish their food. Therefore, the idea is that we should share, or at least for this tip, we should take away. Ask for a takeaway container. It might cost an extra 50 cents. It might be plastic. And if you're trying to save the world, nothing's perfect. I say take the leftovers home. That way you don't waste food. You can eat it later, or you can even eat it the next day at work. It also saves you from eating too much right now. The takeaway is to take away. Habit number 3, share, share, and share. The biggest thing that I see is that most couples don't share food at all. And I don't mean trying each other's food. Don't stop sharing. Can you feel the love? Like most couples that I see simply order one drink, one meal, one dessert, one side, and that's per person. Most of the time it's way too much food, they'll get up and leave and they'll end up finishing 3/4 of everything. That's kind of a waste, and I think most restaurants should support taking away. An example of sharing that me and my partner tend to do goes like this. For fancier restaurants, or maybe that one restaurant that we love, we tend to order one entree, one main, one side, one drink, maybe a dessert, or we'll go out and get bubble tea. Konnichiwa. Or when it comes to fast food, me and my partner will go out for burgers, for example, and we'll get one burger each and we'll share a large side of chips. And typically, we go for tap water instead of one soft drink. And it's free. I mean, maybe because we're Asian. But one thing I don't get is why do so many people drink Coke, especially at work? I mean, it's addicting, I know, but what about your health and your teeth? I get it if you're drinking that at a barbecue. I might be judging a little bit too hard, but when I'm at work, I just can't help it if I'm seeing a lot of people consuming junk food. Anyways, the idea is for you to find ways to share and know how much you need to get full for each meal. Otherwise, order what you want and take away what you can't finish. I mean, you've worked so hard for that money, so why not make every penny count? Sharing is caring. Habit number 4, dollars, euros, rupees, pounds sterlings. So as you can see, most people tend to order food as they wish based on their normal eating habits. Wherever you're from, one way my partner and I like to go about this is by going by dollar value. For this example, we'll keep it simple and we use dollars. So let's say we're used to ordering $50 worth of food for both of us, and that keeps us full. Then when we go to a new restaurant, we tend to use that $50 rule as a basis. And we'll tell the waiter, okay, we'll go with that and we'll see how we go. I mean, there was one time when it didn't work, and this was at a fancy French restaurant. And I was very, very pressured to order more when I wasn't really that hungry. And of course, we never went back. So that's another habit or hack that you could try next time you're out and about. If the waiter makes you feel guilty for ordering too little, do yourself a favor and don't go back. Don't let others dictate how much you should be eating. I mean, unless you're in Japan, where they want you ordering 1 meal per person if you're sitting down. So if you're ever unsure, start with 1 meal each, 1 side and 1 drink to share, or start with a dollar value and go from there. Habit number 5, take your time. And this is building on from the last point. A lot of the time we tend to rush and get pressured to order everything in one go. I definitely feel that, and I tend to want to order 1 meal, 1 side, maybe 1 drink, and then I'll consider a second side. But then over the past few years, my partner and I have figured that we could just perhaps order the bare minimum, and then order more as we go. Hey, can I order X and Y? We'll start with that. Thank you very much. The reason is because we've ordered way too much on many occasions and we just wish we hadn't. I remember back when we first started dating, quite possibly the first year, we went to a Mexican restaurant and we ordered a ton. We didn't realize this until, well, the first meal came out and we were like, ooh. And then the 4th meal came out and we were like, ooh. Cool, I hope that's all. And then another dish came and then we ended up paying $70 for what we thought was a standard meal on a weekday, when we usually pay $40 to $50 for a meal. Take your time, start with 2 or 3 items and order more as you go. The upside to this is that as the food comes out and you're 1 to 2 dishes in, you then realize, hey, maybe we've ordered enough. And if not, then you order more. The best habit you can build is to avoid being uncomfortable and extremely full. Take your time. Habit number 6, stop before you feel full and uncomfortable. Be body aware. Most of the time when we're at parties or during the holiday periods, we tend to overeat. And for most, that's when the holiday weight comes into play. By the end of the holiday season, we're about 5 to 10 kilos heavier, and then the diet starts again. The New Year's resolution is revived. 2022, come at me, bruh. But if I was to eat like this for the entire year, even if it was just, once a week, perhaps this might not be a big problem. But if I make this a habit and I do this 2 to 3 times a week, I'm definitely gonna see my weight go up. The idea is to be body and mind conscious and listen to your body several times throughout the meal. Try sitting up or perhaps try standing up and seeing how full you actually are. I found that I realize how full I am whenever I make an effort to stand up or sit up, and then I realize, oh wow, I'm actually getting there. I just wanted to throw that in as an extra tip for you. So stop before you're full, uncomfortable, and feel regret. And then habit number 7, thirds rule. This one I love the most. And it might seem super simple and straightforward, but at the same time, it's an easy way to break down your meal knowing exactly how much and what you're going to put into your bowl or plate. 3 parts, carbs, protein, and vegetables. We've all seen a version of this, whether it's like this or like this, but that's not as easy to remember as, say, the thirds rule. I might be a little biased, but at the same time, it's true. This is a rule that I came up with during my 6-pack journey. I found that whenever I went to construct a meal using my mother's cooking or from leftovers, I never knew exactly how much rice to put in, vegetables or meat. And of course, that's before I went vegan in 2021. I was honestly confused because I was simply wanting to know what the best ratio was. At the time, I was gymming 5-6 days a week, wanting to build muscle and trying to get ripped. And then I thought, why don't I just keep it simple and put equal thirds? So I did that, and I continued to do that, especially right before a game. If you're curious, I'm talking about CSGO on PC. And as a gamer, time is not your best friend. Your game's about to start, and you're scrambling around trying to figure out how to piece this meal together and put it in the microwave. And that led me to create the thirds rule. The rule that ultimately got me a 6-pack and at the same time kept me full for every meal and fueled my workout. And it also gave me a tool, one that I could teach to guys like you wanting to become strong, lean, and healthy. Thirds, carbs, protein, and veg. Bonus habit number 8. Hand-sized bowl. And of course I'm Asian. I like to give more than I receive. I'll explain. Using a bowl the size of your hand. Obviously some meals might require you to eat with your plate. But for the most part, the idea of this habit is that most people tend to eat with oversized bowls or plates. Kind of like the bowls you use to eat ramen at a Japanese spot or pho or pho at a Vietnamese restaurant. Aside from getting your money's worth, you have the need to want to fill up your plate. And when you go for seconds, you do the same and you end up really stuffed. It's similar to what I mentioned earlier in the video. Kind of like, oh, this is 1 meal, I guess I have to eat it all. And you don't rationalize and think, oh, I could take this away and possibly eat it later. This is usually the case when I get used to putting food in my mouth and I forget to practice the habit of stopping to see how full I am every 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, it might seem a little tedious, but it's a good way for you to avoid feeling full and uncomfortable after every meal. So if you're used to overeating and you find yourself using a large bowl or plate every meal, you're welcome. Try this handy hand-sized bowl party trick. The biggest lesson here is that less is more. As humans, we tend to think more is more. We're greedy. Our goal is to try to go against this notion that we need more. It's not easy because it's how we naturally are. And I think once we build this habit, we can then go along our journey, our fitness journey, and kick some ass, or ass. But in all seriousness, once we build up this mindset of less is more and practice these habits, it'll become second nature and we'll begin to see promising results we can actually keep. Because as fitness pros say, several things: calories in versus calories out. Fat loss is 99% or 99.00001%, whichever floats your boat. Try working off 3,000 calories a day. That's 3 hours of running or 30 hours of weight training. Go, heads or tails? Heads, you run for 3 hours. Tails, I'll lock you in the gym for 30. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass. Last thing is, when they say you are what you eat, it's 100% true. I mean, look at those who mostly snack versus those who consistently bring meal prep to work. Their bodies reflect that. At least mine does. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you now know 7 new habits to get lean and you want more inspiration and daily golden nuggets of advice, then make sure to click over here to my shorts playlist. If you want to check out my last video where I react to Will Tenney's video where he debunks 13 fat loss myths, it's kind of funny, click over here and head over there. Anyways, thank you for watching and do hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you hopefully in the next video. Bye.